Philip John Payton is a British historian and Emeritus Professor of Cornish and Australian Studies at the University of Exeter and formerly Director of the Institute of Cornish Studies based at Tremough, just outside Penryn, Cornwall. Birth and education. He was born in 1953 in Sussex. His mother was Cornish from the Helston area. His father was a merchant seaman, then businessman and academic. Payton spent much of his childhood in Sussex and attended Haywards Heath Grammar School. Active in Meby and Cerno as a teenager, he began his writing career in articles on Cornish history and politics in journals such as New Cornwall and Cornish Nation. He obtained his first degree from the University of Bristol in 1975 and returned to Australia to read for a doctorate at the University of Adelaide, choosing as his theme the Cornish in Australia, completing this in 1978. Naval career. In 1979 he joined the Royal Navy as an officer in the instructor branch, training at the Britannia Royal Naval College and at sea in HMS Intrepid before being appointed to HMS Fishguard at Tor Point in Cornwall. Subsequently, he served at HMS Cochrane, HMS Collingwood and at the Royal Naval Engineering College at Manhattan. In 1989 was appointed senior lecturer in the Department of History and International Affairs at the Royal Naval College, Greenwich. Until his retirement from the service, he held the rank of Commander in the Royal Naval Reserve in the Royal Naval Reserve and has seen active service when attached to the Army in Bosnia and Croatia in 1993 and more recently aboard the aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal in 2003 during the Iraq War. Academic career. In 1990 he gained a second doctorate from the University of Plymouth for a study of modern Cornwall from a centre-periphery perspective. He joined the University of Exeter as director of the Institute of Cornish Studies, then situated at Poole, near Redruth, in 1991 but now at the Tremough campus. He was promoted reader in 1995 and professor in 2000. He is a Fellow of both the Royal Historical Society and the Royal Society of Arts. In 2013 he was elected an Hon Fellow of the prestigious Australian Academy of the Humanities, shortly before stepping down as Director of the Institute of Cornish Studies. He is now Emeritus Professor of Cornish and Australian Studies at the University of Exeter, as well as Adjunct Professor of History at Flinders University in Australia. Amongst his many book and articles are Making Moonta, The Invention of Australia's Little Cornwall, A.L. Rose and Cornwall, A Paradoxical Patriot, and the acclaimed Cornwall, A History, first published in 1996 and updated in 2004, which remains a major modern authoritative history of Cornwall. Other titles include The Cornish Miner in Australia, The Making of Modern Cornwall, and Cornwall Since the War. He also edited the annual book series, Cornish Studies, published by University of Exeter Press for 20 years, and was editor-in-chief of the Millennium Book for Cornwall Cerno Bys Vicon, Cornwall Forever, published by Cornwall Heritage Trust and distributed free to every school child in Cornwall in 2000. His other research interests in modern Cornish history include Cornish emigration, ethnicity and territorial politics and centre-periphery relations. He has recently completed a book on John Payton and Cornwall, the celebrated Cornish nationalist, and is editing a maritime history of Cornwall. His most recent book is Regional Australia and the Great War, The Boys from Old Keogh, and he is also completing a history of Sussex, to be published in 2012. Bard of the Cornish Gorsedd. Payton was made a Bard of Gorsedd Cerno in 1981, taking the bardic name Cardivasau. In 2006 Payton's book A.L. Rose and Cornwall, A Paradoxical Patriot won the Gorsed's Holier and Gough Trophy for Best Publication. Personal life. He is married, and has 2 adult daughters, Bridget and Unity. Publications. Incomplete list. Making Moonta. The Invention of Australia's Little Cornwall, Exeter. University of Exeter Press, 2007, ISBN 9780859897952, paperback, ISBN 9780859897969. A. L. Rose and Cornwall, A Paradoxical Patriot, Exeter. University of Exeter Press, 2005, ISBN 0859897443, paperback, ISBN 9780859897993. Cornish Carols from Australia, a new edition of The Christmas Welcome, compiled with an introduction by Philip Payton, Tremough, Dillon Sovtruren, 1984, ISBN 0-907566-928. The Cornish Eclipse 1649–1751, Notes and Illustrated Lecture, commissioned by Artis Warren now Kerno for the Daphne du Maurier Festival of Arts and Amp Literature. The Cornish Farmer in Australia, or Australian Adventure, Cornish Colonists and the Expansion of Adelaide and the South Australian Agricultural Frontier, Redruth, Dillon Sovtruren, C1987, ISBN 1850220298. The Cornish Miner in Australia, Redruth, Dillon Sovtruren, 1984. ISBN 0-907566-510. The Cornish Overseas, Foy Alexander Associates, 1999. ISBN 1899526951. Revised edition Rev. and updated edition Foy. Cornwall Editions, 2005. ISBN 1-90488004-5. Cornwall, Foy Alexander Associates, 1996. ISBN 1899526609. Revised edition Cornwall, A History, Foy, Cornwall Editions Limited, 2004, ISBN 1-90488002. Cornwall Forever, Kerno Bys Viking. Edited by Philip Payton. Cornwall Heritage Trust, 2000. Cornwall Since the War, The Contemporary History of a European Region, edited by Philip Payton, Redruth, Institute of Cornish Studies, Dillon Sovtruren, 1993, ISBN 1850220735. Cornwall's History, An Introduction, Redruth, Tormark Press, 2002, ISBN 0850253926. Making Moonta. The Invention of Australia's Little Cornwall, Exeter. University of Exeter Press, 2007, ISBN 9780859897969. Paperback, ISBN 9780859897952. The Making of Modern Cornwall, Historical Experience in the Persistence of Difference, Redruth, Dillon Sovtruren, C1992, ISBN 1850220646. Maritime History and the Emigration Trade, The Case of Mid-19th Century Cornwall, in History in Focus, 2005. The Sea, New Directions in Celtic Studies, edited by Amy Hale and Philip Payton, Exeter. University of Exeter Press, 2000, ISBN 0859896226. Pictorial History of Australia's Little Cornwall, Adelaide, Rigby, 1978, ISBN 0727006045. Reinventing Celtic Australia. Notions of Celtic identity from the colonial period to the era of multiculturalism in Australian Studies Journal, Volume 12, Number 2, Winter 1997. The Story of HMS Fisgard. Redruth, de Lonsovtruren, 1983, ISBN 0-90756656-1. Tregantle and Scraesdon. The Forts and Railway. Redruth, de Lonsovtruren, 1987, ISBN 1850220387. A Vision of Cornwall. Alexander Associates. 2002, ISBN 1899526021. OCLC 52762045. Eds with A. Kennelly and H. Doe. The Maritime History of Cornwall, Exeter. University of Exeter Press. 2014. ISBN 9780859898508.